from WSLS, this is 10 News at 11, working for you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for 10 News at 11. I'm Keisha Lynn. Well, we began with breaking news out of the Middle East tonight. Iran has confirmed that Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was killed in today's U.S. and Israeli airstrikes. Iranian state media says about 200 people have been killed with hundreds of injuries. According to AP, at least 115 people were killed and dozens wounded by an Israeli strike that hit a girls' school in southern Iran. And here at home, many are reacting to the attacks.
In an explosion of violence in Iran, the U.S. and Israel launching airstrikes targeting the country's missile and nuclear programs and senior leadership, with Iran now confirming its supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. He led an intensely repressive regime in Iran for nearly 40 years. Earlier today, President Trump spoke directly to the Iranian people.
When we are finished, take over your government. It will be yours to take.
Iran's foreign minister had pushed back in an NBC News interview this morning.
Well, I think this is mission impossible. For regime change.
Iran is retaliating, firing attacks toward Israel and U.S. military bases in the region. President Trump monitoring closely with his national security team and speaking with Israel's prime minister, who argued this war will lead to true peace.
מטרת המבצע, לשים קץ לאיום.
Senior Trump administration officials telling reporters Iran was threatening American forces in the region with potential missile strikes, and the U.S. acted preemptively with the long-term goal of preventing Iran from rebuilding its nuclear program after U.S. and Israeli strikes last year. The president saying diplomacy was not working in ongoing nuclear talks.
We will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message.
Anti-war demonstrations breaking out in American cities as the world waits for what's next. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Local leaders and political analysts are weighing in after the strikes were carried out in Iran. 10 News community journalist Bella Walzer asked our political analyst his thoughts earlier today.
The goal here is to try to decapitate the regime, to kill its most important leaders, in the hope that the Iranian people will then be able to rise up.
We spoke with WSLS's political analyst Dr. Ed Lynch about the strikes targeting leaders and military sites in Iran. Lynch says the strikes were likely planned over weeks, and he warns the operations can carry big risks.
This is a very, very high risk, but potentially very, very high gain operation. The risks are that the United States will get involved in a boots on the ground sort of war in Iran. That would be insane. Nobody wants that. The gain would be sort of terrorist headquarters for the world wouldn't be there anymore. This could go on for some time. This could be a weeks-long campaign by the United States, Israel, and anybody else who might want to join in.
Lynch explains the attacks come after a long history and recent moves.
We've been leading up to this since the hostage crisis in 1979 in some ways. Now, in recent weeks, Iranians have risen up in huge numbers to protest against this regime.
And legislators across Virginia are speaking out on the attacks. Earlier today, Democratic Senator Tim Kaine posted on Facebook and X.
Virginians don't want another war in the Middle East. Have we learned nothing? I mean, absolutely nothing after 25 years of unproductive wars in the Middle East? Virginians don't want it, Americans don't want it, and I'm hoping my congressional colleagues will listen to their constituents instead of being buffaloed by a warmongering president.
Republican Congressman Ben Cline supports the move, saying, quote, Iran's pursuit of nuclear weapons and long-standing state sponsorship of terror have threatened our allies and targeted American interests for decades. Their continued aggression cannot be allowed to continue to threaten America's national security. Bella Walzer, 10 News, working for you.
We have more reaction from our local leaders on our website at WSLS.com. And switching gears, turning now to your forecast, meteorologist Sarah Osterbein joins us now with what we can expect for the rest of this weekend. Sarah?
Thanks, Keisha. Taking a look at our forecast for this evening, we will be seeing a little bit of cloud coverage build in, not by much, mostly just stratus coverage coming ahead of a cold front that we will be seeing tomorrow. A lot of cloud buildup behind that as well, seeing our temperatures drop just a tad. Now, once we get into Monday, that's when the biggest change is going to be. We'll see those temperatures actually get very, very cold. But for now, we're seeing those low temperatures not really get that low tonight, especially into the 40s across the board. New River Valley down to 41, as well as the Highlands. Roanoke getting down to 45. Lynchburg 39, and the south side will see a low temperature of 39. As we warm up into tomorrow, it's going to be very similar to today, just a tad bit cooler. South side actually getting into the 70s tomorrow, 72-degree high in south side, 67 in Lynchburg, 65 in Roanoke, 63 in Highlands, and the New River Valley will be seeing a high temperature of 59 degrees tomorrow. So all in all, it's going to be a great day to get outside. Could see a couple showers here and there, but we will remain mostly dry across the region. Back to you.
Thank you, Sarah. A debate over redistricting is heating up in Virginia as voters prepare to weigh in on a statewide referendum. But as we've been reporting, legal challenges now threaten to block that vote. This is what Virginia's congressional map looks like now versus what it could look like if voters approve mid-decade redistricting this April. Supporters say the change would rebalance political power after redistricting in states like Texas, while opponents argue the process itself may violate the state constitution. The new map would remain in place until the next census in 2030, but some local leaders are asking a judge to pause the referendum, pointing to concerns about the timeline and early voting.
Uphold and support the Constitution of Virginia and the Constitution of the United States, and to seek clarity, to make sure that we're not spending our taxpayer dollars on something that shouldn't be happening.
The voters get to decide. So the voters might say, hey, we don't want to do it this way. We'll take our chances, in Congress with a heavily Republican Congress.
A Lynchburg judge is expected to decide whether to issue an injunction on the case on Monday. Well, there's good news for skating fans in the Roanoke Valley. A new skate park is receiving glowing reviews, and some lucky skaters had a chance to test it out before its grand opening. Big news for the skating community here in Roanoke. The new Wasena Skate Park is open to skaters. Before an official grand opening by the city, many skaters have already come out to test the park and they give it glowing reviews. For a while, people had to drive outside of Roanoke just to skate. But now skaters have a park that's open to all skill levels, whether you've been on a board for years or just starting out. According to the City of Roanoke's website, construction began in early 2025. Officials worked with the skating community to make sure the park has a little bit of everything.
We did multiple feasibility studies with the city alongside the skate park initiative, and everybody in the community kind of came together, and we had little spots set out with like what kind of style of skating do you like, what kind of obstacles do you want to see.
Some of the skaters are hoping to continue working with the city to have some kind of events to bring families to the skate park. And you can stay with us. Your forecast is next.
Oh man, all right. Yeah, is it too early to say I love you?
No, Brad, you already said it.
That means I mean it. I can't thank you enough. Seriously, I think this guy just saved my life. Now is my BPM too? Yes, sir. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Sweet. Yo.
The 10 News Weather Authority from the JES Weather Center.
Good evening, meteorologist Sarah Osterbein here. We are going to be seeing a couple more clouds build into the area as we go overnight. That said, we're going to be remaining mostly clear, at least through this evening. Early tomorrow morning is where we're going to start to see more clouds build up, drop those temperatures just a little bit. Then we're going to see the huge drop as we go into Monday. Luckily, that will not be sticking around. So jumping ahead and looking at our future cast, we will be seeing a cold front push through early tomorrow morning. You can see a couple showers lingering mainly in the mountain region early tomorrow morning. Once we get to about 10 a.m., that cold front is going to be passed through, giving us mostly overcast skies. We could see a couple isolated showers here and there, mostly in the higher elevations, but for the most part, a lot of the area is actually going to be remaining dry as we go into tomorrow. Mostly seeing a lot of mostly cloudy skies all across the region. Once we go into Monday morning, right around 9 a.m., very overcast. Could see a couple showers early on as well. Once we get into the afternoon hours of Monday, this is when we're going to be seeing a lot of the mix that we have been anticipating over the weekend. So a lot of freezing rain as well as rain. Could see a couple snowflakes. Most of that is going to be coming later in the evening Monday. Could see it as early as the afternoon hours. And that will last as we go into early morning Tuesday, right around 6 a.m. We're seeing that starting to temporarily dry up, get a little bit more cloud coverage. And we could see more showers as we go early into Wednesday morning, mainly east of or west of the Blue Ridge. Seeing a lot of that be towards the north as well. Now, once we get to Wednesday, those are going to be just plain rain showers. But as we look at tonight, back to this evening, seeing those low temperatures be in the 40s, South Boston getting down to 40, Roanoke 45, Hot Springs 41. Independence will see a low temperature of 42 tonight. Seeing that low temperature come in right before sunrise, we're going to be sticking in the 50s throughout a lot of the evening up to 2 a.m. Once we hit 3, that's when we're going to start to drop into the 40s and then slowly cool down into the low 40s, then quickly warm back up as we go into tomorrow. So going ahead, taking a look at tomorrow's high temperatures, very similar today, slightly cooler. Roanoke is going to see a high temperature of 65 degrees, Hot Springs up to 53, South Boston 70, and Wytheville will see a high temperature of 60 degrees tomorrow. So our temperature setup today is not going to vary too much as we will see tomorrow. We saw most of the country being in above average temperatures and a little bit up towards the north, seeing the below average temperatures. Now, once we look ahead into tomorrow, a lot of that is going to shift southward, seeing a lot more cold temperatures out in the Midwest of the United States, and we could see a slight change in our temperatures here. So taking a look at that, Sunday 65 degrees. Once we go into Monday, that's when that cold shift is really going to happen. 38 degrees on Monday. Once we get to Tuesday, 46, and then we will jump back into the 60s as we go into Wednesday. So going ahead, taking a look at our 7 days, we have loads of moisture heading our way. A lot of that, once we get to Wednesday, is going to be a lot of isolated showers. So go ahead and take a look at your next 7 days. We will return into the 70s actually as we go into Thursday, and I anticipate those warm temperatures will be sticking around at least for the next little while.
We're going to be sticking around for a little while because if you like basketball, you are in luck. High school championships, D3 finals and semifinals, and a duo of ACC clashes. Those games and more are coming your way when we return.
Now, the 10 News Sports Desk.
Well, it's for all the marbles tonight. Randolph-Macon men's basketball battling Roanoke College for the ODAC championship. These two teams met in early December, a 66-61 win for the Yellow Jackets back then. We got halfway through the first. Both offenses heating up. It's Randolph-Macon's Keyshawn Pulley Jr. nailing a three. Roanoke comes right back with a triple of their own, though. Caleb Franz driving one home. Later, it would be Gavin O'Malley playing a little bully ball down low. 28-16 lead at the half for Roanoke. The Yellow Jackets, though, would stage a ferocious second-half comeback, leading by as much as 6 with under a minute to go. But the shot that will be talked about for years, Jackson Bell hangs, hits to give the Maroons a 59-58 lead. The Yellow Jackets have one more chance to tie things up, but it would be no good. Roanoke is your ODAC champion, 59-58. On the women's side, just who is going to knock off Washington and Lee? Next in line of fire is Shenandoah in the semifinals this afternoon. The Hornets would stick with the Generals for a while. Anaya Wilson with the rebound. She flings to Emily Williams, who's going to put this home. The Generals, though, would eventually wake up. Mary Schleissner protecting the rim. And then on the other end, Riley Bryant going to get down low in the paint. She's going to go up for the deuce. Schleissner going to follow next on the fast break. 2 of her game-high 29 points as the Generals march to an ODAC championship appearance, winning 66-52. Virginia basketball fans feel as though they're flying under the radar this season. And what way to put yourself back in the national conversation than potentially beating the top-ranked team on their home court. Cavaliers with a chance to do so today at Cameron Indoor Stadium taking on Duke. Things would get out of hand in this one quick, though. UVA down 13. Dame Sarr making it hurt a little bit more. A 3 to put the Blue Devils up 16 before the half. The way to get back in this, that's feed Jakari White. He drills one to stop the bleeding. That's the only field goal he'd make all day. UVA did a great job of keeping Cam Boozer contained in the first half. He'd come alive in the second, though. A knockdown 3 to extend the lead. A pretty disappointing day for Cavaliers fans as UVA falls big, 77-51. Now the Hokies.
Jaden Shoot with Young to beat. Lob.
How about this to set the tone? Toby Lawal up and away. A big-time jam with emphasis. And, oh, you thought that was all for Lawal? He's doing it again. Not just doing it at the rim, though. He's going to fire from out deep here. Hit a little triple. However, the Tar Heels would pick up a little home court momentum as the game went on. The Hokies fall in this one 89-82. We go to other scores and games around the state, including VMI and Radford men's falling, while the Liberty men pick up the win. Liberty and Radford women's both pick up late season wins as well. VHSL time, Region 3D girls final, giving us Stanton River taking on Abingdon. Falcons' Ansley Trevette turned up the heat in the second half, dominating in the paint. She had a game-high 26 points. Abingdon held a 35-33 lead entering the fourth. Scout Summit going to hit a little triple in that next spot. Golden Eagles, though, they're going to swoop in. Aylin McCauley hits a little turnaround jumper here, 2 of her 13 points. And then it'll be Myasia Garrison, the putback and one, 40-37 the score. Now on the break, Jaden Roach converts. We had just a 1-point game, but Abingdon held on for the 52-48 win. Stanton River, your region runner-up. Still at Bill Pope Gym, Region 3D boys feature Christiansburg taking on top seed Hidden Valley. A strong second half for the Blue Demons. Garrett Overbay going to crash the glass, get the putback, and then check out Brayson Hutchins with a little rise and hit mid-range jumper. After him, it would be Colton Epperly. Drive in, count, plus the foul, a 35-28 score. Seaburg gets as close as 5, but just not enough. Riley James on the take, finishes through contact, and then Tyrone Molina and Win Wommeldorf finishing things off. Hidden Valley wins the Region 3D title, 57-46, and meanwhile, Fort Chiswell sneaks out a 2-point win against Perry McClure to win Region 1C. We go over to Region 1C. Galax would take on George Wythe, and being down at the end of the third, a couple of threes would get the Maroons within 2. A 3 from Alana Malavolti push the Maroons up 1. They try to chew the clock out, but Maddie Goad would get the steal on the fast break. Push to Riley Hawks for the go-ahead 3 to give the Maroon tied. 2-point advantage, now down 2. Maroons are going to need a bucket. And off the give and go, Maya Wolf going to score the game-tying layup. We're going to go to overtime, and there in overtime, it's a 3-point lead. Riley Hawks just goes absolutely nuclear. Gets the rebound, put back, gets the lead to 5. She wasn't done. She'd go crazy, hit 2 threes at the end of the game. Her own 11-point run gives the Maroon Tide a 76-68 win. Did I miss anything? Your play of the night, I mean, what else would it be? The game-winning shot to send Roanoke men's basketball back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2001, a year where none of these players were even born. Jackson Bell, take a little bow tonight for making the shot, but also for making us feel a little bit old.
And that's good, though. That's good that they're able to go to that tournament. What do you think?
It's awesome. I will say, I thought it was called March Madness. Last time I checked, it's February still. February 28th. I know there's like 30 minutes left, but it feels like February Madness.
Wow.
Everyone's head's spinning, but Roanoke Maroons fans, get out and go celebrate.
I know, and like you said, though, a lot of them weren't born yet. So
that was the year I was born, so it's been a long time. I'm feeling old.
Oh my gosh, wow. Well, thank you so much, Spencer. And thank you for joining us tonight. And All News Saturday Night Live is next, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for 10 News at 6.